Hello there. Well, what a week it's been in the Champions League. 4 ties, 4 absolutely cracking matches. And let's now have a quick look at what the European press have made of it all. Top story, as you might imagine, Barcelona's 4-0 thrashing of German champions Bayern Munich. Probably the biggest Bayern collapse this since the housing market. Sample headline anyway, Italy's Gazzetti dello Sport, Thursday morning, Messi slams Bayern, a majestic performance from Barcelona. In fact, papers from pretty much all over Europe were queuing up to hail this Spanish triumph, except that is from the Spanish capital itself. For while the Barcelona-based El Mundo Deportivo headline Grandioso the next morning, a nice picture there of Messi and co. Over in the Madrid-based Marca, they choose to lead with a press conference from Real Madrid player Guti, who's complaining about all the criticism he's had recently. It seems like I've killed somebody. Oh yes, little box top right. Barcelona are shockingly good in Europe. Diario AS too come not to praise Barca but to bury them on page 7. While the rest of Europe gushes over Messi and co, they say, was only Bayern Munich. And you know what? They may just have a point, for Bayern are not new to going down easily. They are, after all, a team managed by Jürgen Klinsmann. Just last weekend in the Bundesliga, they were thrashed 5-1 by their rivals Wolfsburg. And in fact, according to the German press, this latest defeat means that Klinsmann could get his marching orders as early as this weekend should his team lose again. Well, anyway, going back to the Barcelona result, and reaction in Germany was mixed between schadenfreude, or whatever they call it over there, at seeing the mighty Bayern humbled, and a general wailing and gnashing of teeth over what the Süddeutsche Zeitung called the humiliation of our national champions. Germany's best were taken apart, agrees the Frankfurter Zeitung. Well, speaking of Frankfurters, meanwhile, the most entertaining thing to come out of the German press this week came courtesy of populist publication Bild, who, in order to swing the tie in Bayern's favour before the match, got their correspondent to bury a sausage under a corner flag at the new camp. A sort of game of hide the sausage, if you will, which is meant to bring good fortune. Instead, rather appropriately, Bayern came up with their worst performance since 1974. Worst. Moving on then, the other big result midweek was of course Porto's smashing 2-2 draw at Old Trafford against erstwhile quintuple hopefuls Manchester United. Portuguese press unanimous in calling this a storming performance from Porto, who, but for Bruno Alves' particularly disastrous back passage, would have probably been comfortable winners. Cristiano Ronaldo, they cheer up happily, was particularly uninspired, while Porto's Hulk was, you guessed it, incredible. And while for many people Manchester United will still be the favourites to make it through to the semi-final, Abola reminds us that now nothing is impossible. After this dream performance at the Theatre of Dreams, reaching the final again isn't a fantasy for Porto, it's a target. Good to know it. Well, after all of that, we're looking forward to the second legs like hungry Frenchmen at a frog dinner. So let's just finish off with a couple of stories in the meantime. First off, that Ancelotti to Chelsea business. The Gazzetti dello Sport, certainly from Milan, reckon that this will actually go through. The other is the Spanish press's insistence that Ricky Kaká, Milan's Brazilian star, will be making a summer transfer to Real Madrid. Look, here he is on the front page of Marca in a mock-up there with a Real Madrid shirt. In other news, Elvis found alive on moon. Milan, though, have responded like a Saudi judge, saying hands off and wheeling Kaká out once again to tell everyone, look, I'm Milan for life. Well, we'll see about that next week when we return to see what the European papers make of the next set of Champions League matches. See you then.